Hey cats, what's happening? What is happening? That's happening. We're going camping. Woohoo! We got camp all set up and life is good once again. God, I love camping. It's just so cool. We got a nice site here, really. A little windy today, so I've got the canopy. I don't want to put the canopy all the way out. You know, they'll tell you that these canopies can be like a parachute, and when you get a big gust of wind, it'll rip them right off of these RVs. So we keep ours pulled in unless it's a decent day when we're going to sit under there and we need some shade. We'll keep it pulled in. I got to show you something. This is right behind our camp, but I thought this was really cool. Is that not the coolest stump you've ever seen? It almost looks like something gothic or mystical. Almost like, I mean, you can look at it and see all kinds of cool, it's almost like somebody carved it. An old pine tree that fell down in the woods. But how cool. And it's been here for a while, obviously. So now it's time to kick back, enjoy, cook over the fire, and just enjoy life. Boy, stayed up too late last night, but it was nice. First night camping here, and I think V and I sat out here by the fire pit till after midnight, and it was just so quiet and peaceful. You know, Rocky Raccoon came to visit us, wanted some handouts. You're gonna get that. But get this morning, this could only happen to me. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm getting the fire, stoked up there, trying to get some fire going from last night's coals, and I hear somebody talking, like they're talking to me, so I look out here to the street, and here's this guy standing there, and he's pointing up at the tree, and I look up, and there's a couple of little red squirrels up there chasing each other, and he's out there laughing, he's pointing at these squirrels, and he's carrying on. And I kind of, nodded and acknowledged, and I went to poking up my fire. Well, then he starts telling me something, and I couldn't hear what he was saying, so I headed over that way, see what he wanted. Turns out the guy was wasted. He was a full-blown drunk on his ass, and must have still been going from the night before. This is at 7 a.m. And for the next 30 minutes, and I should have cut him off way before then, but he went on and on, from one subject to the next. I mean, he talked about Donald Trump, he talked about fishing, he talked about being in the Coast Guard, he talked about choking his wife, and I mean, the guy just went on and on and on, just drifting from one subject to the other, and at times he actually was like broke down sobbing, crying. And then a minute later he'd be laughing and carrying on, and then all of a sudden he would be angry and, not at me, but as in part of his discussion. So I don't know if he was schizophrenic or what, but he was off the rocker. And I finally told him, I said, look, dude, I'm heading in. And I just turned around and walked in to the Hemi here and shut the door. And I had to get away from him. He just was not going to stop. And a couple times he even spooked me a little bit. It must have been an hour later, and V and I, come out, and he's like over there talking to the neighbors, carrying on, throwing his arms up in the air, Ronnie Dio. And the next second he'd be like, oh God, the great creator. And oh boy, it was loony. Yeah, why me? All right, now this is where the fun comes in. We are going to cook up some chicken. And I got my handy grill, campfire grill thing here. I use this poker stick because that way I can give it the rotisserie and just kind of keep it turning so everything cooks good and evenly. And give me about 45 minutes or so, and I'm going to show you some good barbecue chicken over the fire. About getting ready. That's a hot fire. I'm cooking about as much as the chicken. So I've got the drumsticks all done here. They cook a little faster than the breasts. I'm going to leave these big thick breasts on here just a little bit longer. Make sure they're done all the way through. It looks like we're ready to eat, and I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
Yeah.
We're both starving. And, we could have a picnic outside, but then we'd have to battle the bees, ants, and
gnats,
raccoons, yeah. So we've got all the comforts of home here, plus air conditioning. So after slaving over the fire, I'm going to eat in a nice cool temperature. Glamping is what they call it. Hey, you okay? Or do you need wood?
Oh, wood would be good.
Wood it shall be. That'll warm up a little more for you. Good morning, cats. Another fine day at the campground, day 3. And life was a little strange last night. We had a pretty good thunderstorm come through. And we saw the warnings. We knew it was coming. We saw it on radar. So we rolled in the canopy. We closed everything up. We put all the chairs in. And not everybody in the campground was quite prepared for that, though, like we were. You think with cell phones and everything nowadays, people would know or get alerts or something like that. But we knew it was coming, and the sky got really black, and all of a sudden, boom, it rained. It rained hard. And campers were scrambling all over the place, trying to pull their stuff in and get out of the rain. It came quick. But anyway, we've got the fire going this morning. Just got it lit a few minutes ago. So we'll have our day's campfire here. And we'll be cooking some burgers over the grill for dinner tonight. But life is good. It's much cooler today. The high is like 75. Look at that sky. I mean, we're talking about nice puffy clouds, some patches of blue. So there'll be some sunshine here. This would be one of the nicest days. But last night with the storm, as I was continuing to say, there was a blackout. Yeah, the power went out. Boo! And everything died. Well, we have battery power and LED light fixtures, but that's about it. So air conditioning wouldn't work, and the worst thing was the refrigerator. Now the refrigerator and these RVs, and I don't know that they're all like this, but this one is. When you have it plugged into electric, it runs on electric. But when you don't have it plugged into electric and you have it hitched to the truck and you're traveling, the refrigerator actually runs on propane. And it automatically switches. So if there's no electricity supplied to the refrigerator, it will automatically go to propane. If you plug in the electric, it'll automatically flip to electric. The propane wouldn't work last night. It wouldn't ignite. So thanks to YouTube and some great tutorial videos I watched, I was able to take this panel off, and the propane burner is right over in this corner. I'm not going to take it apart, but I took all that apart, disassembled the propane igniter, the igniter tube and everything, cleaned it all out. Wouldn't you know, I found a dead wasp in there, and they say insects are the first thing that'll plug up a propane port. So I cleaned the ports all out, put it back together, and after about 3 resets, it finally started. And we had refrigeration running on propane. So I was pretty proud of myself. I like it when I fix things and things work, because it stinks when you spend hours and hours trying to fix something and you can't get to the bottom of it. But yeah, so life was good. About 3 or 4 hours later, the power came back on and we were good, but the temperatures did drop, so luckily it wasn't really stuffy in there. We opened some windows and it was quite comfortable. And then right before bed, probably 11 o'clock or something, power came back on and we slept like babies last night. So let's take a look at the campground this morning. I think, let's see, there used to be a camper there yesterday. They're gone. And some of these people have left for work, and nobody's at that camp. And yeah, so we're pretty well situated here. We've got a nice little camp, kind of a private area back in there. And then if you walk right through this side, if you go right through the woods here, the bathhouse sits right back there on the other side of the woods. So you could stroll right through that little path and go to the bathhouse, which I did this morning, and I took a nice cold shower. Whew, that woke me up. That's what you do when you're roughing it, though. That's camp life. So there you go, cats. I hope you really enjoy the video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And you know, we mix it up with all kinds of things: camping, cooking, motorcycling, gardening, just everyday life. That's our story. So join us. Hit the subscribe button and get on board. Until next time, cats, I'll catch you later.